tonight's game safely. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wekiva High School welcomes you as we approach the end of the 2020-2021 soccer season to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium for Varsity Girls Soccer Competition. Please welcome our guests from Evans High School. They are the Trojans. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Let's meet the teams, which we will do as the teams finish warming up here so that we can get the game started as close to on time as possible. For the Trojans, we have number 0, the goalkeeper, Akila Hudson and Edwin Pierre. Number 2, Gloria Favard. Number 7, Fabiola Casaneger. Number 8, Michelle Valentine. Number 9, Chrisneda Claremont. Number 10, Sierra Petro. Number 11, Zonchelt Hernandez. Number 15, Brittany Smith. Jacqueline Herrera. Number 19, Rolanda Teresia. Number 21, Carrie Grayson. Number 22, Janari Gordon. And number 24, Kanika Matthews. For the Mustangs, number 24, Jessica Alejandre. Number 99, the goalkeeper, Melanie Arias. Number 4, the midfielder, junior, Aylin Martinez-Rivas. On defense, junior number 13, Kima Pinthieve. And the seniors, midfielder number 15, Jasmine Sarah Blanco. Midfielder number 41, Isabella Romanacci. Defender number 25, Andrea Santana. Defender number 20, Kayla O'Brien. Defender number 12, Camille Lynch. Defender number 3, Cam Lynch. And midfielder number 10, Areli Patricio. And again, we welcome you to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium and appreciate your understanding that the starting lineups here were a little bit less ceremonious than they normally are because we had a lot of ceremony going on just a few moments ago to get things going with senior night. And so as a result, we're starting about 25 minutes after the scheduled start time. So we abridged our pregame festivities just a little bit. And now we are ready to bring you varsity action. This is not the final home game of the season, as you would traditionally think it would be on senior night. Of course, it is a long-standing tradition in high school sports that you schedule your senior night for the last regular season home game. A number of teams, including Wekiva, have decided to change that up a little bit this year. I've actually seen some teams that go a step further and who have done their senior nights very close to the beginning of their season, even the first game. Wekiva did not go that far, but knowing that so much is not to be taken for granted this season in terms of you never know what game is going to be your last, you never know what games are going to be canceled or rescheduled at the last minute, whether that may be due to a quarantine situation on one team or the other, or any other reason. We just know that games have been very volatile this year, and what you don't want to happen is to have your senior night scheduled on the very last day that you could possibly have it, and then have something go wrong with that game, and we're going to get a goal. Barely get the game underway, and as soon as she turns around, I'll get her number for you. Mustang goal scored by number 4, Aylin Martinez-Rivas. That puts Wekiva on the board 1-0 with 37 minutes, 37 seconds remaining in the first half. All right, and thank you for your patience. I did not disappear during the couple of minutes after the goal, just had to get some tweeting done to let the Twitterverse know about Martinez Rivas' goal to open up scoring for the Mustangs, as well as to post the on-demand replay link to our Twitter feed for those who may have missed the senior night ceremony when it was live. So a promising start to this game for the Mustangs. Again, as I had started to mention before Martinez Rivas so rudely interrupted me, the senior night ceremony happening tonight just because it's a sort of insurance policy that if anything had gone wrong, and something had happened that required this game to be postponed, rescheduled, or canceled, that there were alternatives and we wouldn't just lose senior night entirely and have to go virtual. So we are hopeful that all of that concern is unfounded, but tonight was a great night to do senior night anyway. Patricio has an opening, and it is saved. Tonight was a great night anyway, though, because we have no other athletic events happening on campus tonight. I believe we have a basketball team on the road, but nothing else happening here at Wekiva tonight, which allows us to dedicate our undivided attention to senior night and to this soccer match. Good look there by Castillo. Trojans get it away from her. They'll try to clear it to the other half of the field, and they do. It's taken away by Mustangs number 3, Cameron Lynch. And we're actually starting to get, I don't know if you can see it on your screen there, we are starting to get some very fine little raindrops here at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, which for those who are up top, on top of the press box running our camera, those are like icicles because it is getting a little chilly tonight. As I take a peek at my phone, I've got 55 degrees and falling toward an overnight low of 47 and rain. Of course, the girls on the field don't have to worry too much about that. They are probably staying as warm as they need to. Shot and save. That shot taken by number 7, Bianca Castillo. Trojans are there and waiting. Jessica Alejandre trying to make something happen. It's going to roll out, and the officials are going to say that's off Evans. It'll be a throw-in at the corner for Alejandre. And it quickly goes to the Trojans, but not for long. Bounced back. An opportunity as the Trojans stumble, and it's going to roll right in. Mustang goal scored by number 7, Bianca Castillo. The Mustangs lead 2-0 with 31 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the first half. Mustangs with another good look. Alejandro with a pass. Castillo again, saved this time. Castillo, another look. Excuse me, that's Patricio has another look, and it's saved again. Mustangs putting the pressure on early. 5 shots so far. Trojans have not yet put any pressure on the goal. Throw in for the Trojans. And you can see the rain starting to come down a little bit harder now. If it gets much harder, we may have to momentarily interrupt our video feed and relocate our cameras inside the press box. That is our backup plan. Obviously, that's sensitive electronic equipment, and we want to keep it in good condition. So we will leave it to the discretion of our camera crew upstairs when that's necessary, but just know that if we have to disconnect the camera feed for a moment, we will switch to a webcam, which will not look very good, but will be passable for a few minutes while we relocate the camera. Trojans get a good look, but it's cleared away by Kima Pinthieve. Matthews throws it in. Mustangs take over quickly. Alejandra gets there, makes the pass. Castillo at the corner, or at the edge of the field, manages to knock it off of the Trojans, so the Mustangs will stay in control on the throw-in. A little action near the goal. Bianca Castillo nearly got there, but the Trojans fall on it. Kind of a long shot for Castillo there. Save is made. Special thanks to Victoria Ryan. She is the manager up top and the team videographer, providing video services tonight at great personal cost as she is out there in the cold and rain, and we appreciate her help. She's also a senior, and while she opted not to participate in the pageantry of senior night tonight, she is certainly a valued member of the girls soccer senior class of 2021. So special thanks to her for everything she's done to support the girls soccer program this year, including bringing you tonight's live video footage. Free kick coming to the Mustangs following the foul. Patricio is going to take it. Castillo shoots a worm burner, but it's off target. Goal kick coming up here for the Trojans. And it is low, doesn't get a lot of distance. Alejandra is going to send it right back to her, but it's an easy save. Trojans punt it all the way to midfield. Patricio is there, gets it going the Mustangs' direction again. Here comes Castillo, waiting for some help, and has to clear it out of bounds. Managing to make it bounce off of the Trojans in the process. Throw into Patricio. And it's overthrown, but Patricio manages to get there anyway. Pass to Castillo, and her shot is deflected. That's 10 shots for the Mustangs tonight. And we are 18 minutes into this varsity girls contest. 21:45 to go here in the first half. Throw-in is deflected right back out of bounds by the Mustangs. O'Brien Trojans have an opportunity here to put some pressure on the Mustangs. They'll get a throw in near the box. No, forgive me, they're going to get a CK. And it's low and short. Mustangs able to clear it away, and an opportunity for the Mustangs to make some advancement here if they can get players down there fast enough. But they do not. Offsides call. Trojans will take a free kick from near midfield. It's Casamajor on the kick. Alejandra is there to make the move for the Mustangs, waiting for some help. She gets it. This time the Mustangs get it done legally. No, they don't either. Offsides call once again. And that takes us to the midpoint of the first half. The Mustangs have a 2-goal lead as we pause for an official timeout. We want to thank our friends at Baptiste Orthodontics for their ongoing support of Orange County Public Schools and Wekiva High School in particular. Dr. Baptiste, you already know, his 3 orthodontic locations in the Central Florida area, including one right here in Apopka, and he is very excited to add to that practice in Apopka pediatric dentistry services. So now you can go to one location for all of your child's oral care needs, both dental and orthodontic. Baptiste Orthodontics for children and dentistry for children now serves children as young as 1 year old all the way into their late teens. And their new modern office that just opened a few years ago is just across the street from Kitland Nelson Park. You can give them a call at 407-801-7775 for more information or visit BaptisteOrthodontics.com. Welcome back to Mustang Arena, back to live action as the Trojans put the ball into play with just under 19 minutes remaining in the first half, 21 minutes into this varsity girls contest. Wekiva leading 2-0. 2 goals put up very early for Wekiva. And Wekiva in control now as Patricio throws it in, trying to add to that. We had Martinez Rivas, along with Bianca Castillo, opening up scoring for the Mustangs. Alejandra and Castillo trying to make something happen here. Doesn't happen at first, but it rolls right to the Mustangs. And the shot is off target, coming from, I think that might have been Medina. So Mustangs clearly has the advantage in terms of time of possession and offensive pressure so far tonight. See if the Trojans can answer. Here comes Hernandez. It's taken away by the Mustangs. That's Alejandra with the pick. Rivas, well, a little deceptive play there. Looked like she was going to take it. Goes to Patricio instead. Patricio passes to Alejandra. Shot and save. That is either Hudson or Pierre in goal. And again, if you look carefully on your screen, you can see a very fine mist of raindrops descending on Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. If you look at the radar, you see we have a weak cold front moving through. No huge rainstorms or thunder or lightning associated with this one, and soccer, of course, will play in rain. And fortunately, the rain all seems to be very mild to moderate. We see some of our fans in attendance pulling out their umbrellas, but others are happy to just put their hoods up. Here comes Castillo. That one's wide left. But the Mustangs continue to pick up the offensive pressure. It'll be a goal kick for the Trojans as soon as we can recruit a ball. Soccer kind of unique in the fact that, actually, excuse me, soccer is among the majority, is what I meant to say, in sports that keep a whole bunch of balls on standby around the field and will readily switch back and forth between balls as is most convenient to keep the game moving. Patricio, shot, and a diving save for the Trojans. Another shot comes this time from Medina. That's not there either, as it's deflected away by the Trojans. As I started to say, lacrosse, baseball, softball, all of those sports routinely switch out balls as convenient. Basketball really is the only sport where that's uncommon, although they have started doing that in some limited cases this year due to a pandemic adaptation. And I think that went in. I did not see who shot it, but the Mustangs add to their lead. 14 minutes, 6 seconds remaining in the first half. And Wekiva takes a 3-0 lead. I'll have to go back and check the replay for that one. And it looks like it was an own goal off the corner kick. Patricio took the corner kick, and yes, it is bounced off the goalie into the net. So that's how that one was scored. Offsides call will give it to the Trojans. Patricio trying to get something done from the corner, not there. Chased down for the Mustangs by number 13, that's Kima Pinthieve. To the corner, and going straight into the grass is number 18. Lara took some punishment on that one. But the Mustangs keep possession as a result. Well, they do for a moment. Foul called on the throw-in, and the Trojans will take over deep in their own territory. Want to remind you that the live chat is available to you here on YouTube Live. Of course, if you are happy to put it up on the smart TV and relax while you eat dinner or sip your tea, then we certainly don't blame you for that. No hard feelings. But if you'd like to participate in the conversation, then feel free to pull up your live chat feature on your streaming device or whatever device you're watching on and join our conversation. We've got a free kick coming up here for Jessica Alejandre. It's an indirect one and does not find its mark with a teammate right away. Trojans managed to sneak past the Mustangs before taking out Kayla O'Brien. Trojans will get a free kick here. Cleared away for the Mustangs. It's Alexandra Torres that cleared it away and now has the throw-in. Alejandra gets it in to the front field. Castillo has an opportunity. Nobody between her and the goal. Pass. And it goes right into the goalkeeper. Still, though, the Mustangs doing a good job of keeping the pressure up on the Trojans. They've taken 18 shots so far. 3 of them have connected. Well, in a manner of speaking, one was a sort of own goal off of the corner kick. Castillo, it's tangled up with the Trojans. The other Castillo, Narita, tries to get there to bail them out, but it's going to go out of bounds off the Trojans. Mustangs will retain possession on a throw-in. Offsides call. No, excuse me, a foul. He is going to award a direct free kick to Alejandra. No, excuse me, an indirect free kick to Alejandra. She's got help from Castillo and Patricio. A little backup support from Cerro Blanco. Here it comes. And it's high and over the net. And the goalkeeper for the Trojans softly puts it into play. Gets it to midfield, a little tangle up there. And a trip and fall for Cerro Blanco. It's a clean play, though, no whistle. Patricio says enough of this and clears it out. Castillo trying to get there in time, but cannot before it rolls out of bounds. That's Narita Castillo as opposed to Bianca, who is also on the field. As we are presently over both our Castillo and Lynch quota. Patricio gives it some lift. See if the help can get there in time. And they do not. Trojans panic, though, and send the ball to the sidelines rather than take a chance with Castillo there and ready to pounce. So the Mustangs will have an opportunity to get set with their forwards. Get a pushing off foul. Free kick coming to Patricio here. Opportunity to put some pressure on the Trojans. She'll go straight for the goal, and she scores. Areli Patricio on the direct free kick scores the goal for the Mustangs. They take a 4-0 lead with 3 minutes, 43 seconds remaining in the first half. Back-to-back goals will now make it a 5-0 game with 3:17 to go in the first half. And as I looked up, that looked like it was Patricio again, but I'm going to go back to the instant replay to be sure of that, since I was still tweeting the last goal. And indeed it was. Solo goal there by Patricio. Had an opportunity. Castillo wanted a piece of that one, but the goalie got there first. Just over a minute remaining in the first half, 39 minutes into this one, and the Mustangs so far have a shutout going. 5-0 the score over Evans, with 1 minute left to play in the first half here at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Alejandra tries to get the pass over to her teammate, Sarah Blanco. Didn't quite connect, but Sarah Blanco is able to recover it. And the Trojans will settle for just kicking this one out of bounds and live to fight another day. Patricio will have the throw in. That takes us to halftime. The Mustangs will go into the break with a 5-0 lead. Back-to-back goals by Areli Patricio following the CK own goal. And Bianca Castillo rolled one in earlier. Martinez Rivas had the first one, which gets us to 5. And that's where we'll leave the first half. Baptiste Orthodontics is proud to be the sponsor of Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, home of the Wekiva Mustangs. This year, more than ever, we all must stay connected with our community and remain strong to overcome the challenges that are coming our way. We are very delighted to have such a strong partnership with Dr. Baptiste and his entire team at Baptiste Orthodontics, not just with Wekiva High School, but with all of our programs here in Orange County Public Schools. He is a great partner in education and a great supporter of public education here in Orange County that he calls home, and he wishes all of the players, coaches, and fans from all the teams that play at this awesome stadium to stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy every opportunity that comes their way. For more information about Baptiste Orthodontics and Dentistry and all of its services, please go to their website, baptisteorthodontics.com. And we're going to take a break and let our videographers thaw out for a few minutes. We'll be back here at Baptiste Orthodontics Stadium in just a little over 8 minutes with the second half of senior night here for the Mustangs. 5-0 at the half. We're also going to mute the audio of our broadcast so that YouTube does not scold us for having copyrighted music on the internet. So don't be alarmed if the sound feels muted, because it is, but it'll be back. Welcome back to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Mark Barchi, voice of the Mustangs, as well as the Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School, joining you for the final 40 minutes of tonight's doubleheader action. Trojans get the first possession of this second half, and so far it has been all Wekiva. 19 shots on goal. Evans have not yet threatened. Goals in the first half, of course, Aureli Patricio directly or indirectly responsible for 3 of them. Bianca Castillo had 1, and actually the Mustangs got started off with Aylin Martinez-Rivas. Those are your 5 goals so far. Goal kick coming from the Trojans here. Narita Castillo not quite able to chase that one down before it goes out. Stopped there by the Evans GK. A high kick goes to Patricio, but not able to hold on to it. Alejandra saved. 20th shot of the game for Wekiva. 5 minutes into the second half. Wekiva with a 5-0 lead here at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Once again, this is actually not the final home game of the year for girls soccer, again, because of the uncertainty around the season, and you never take any games for granted. Things get canceled at a moment's notice, and so we wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity that if anything had gone wrong with the scheduling this week, which fortunately it did not, that we still have another week of play available to us. And so as a result, this is actually not the last of the home games. The Mustangs will play Foundation at home coming up at 6:30 on January 19th. We will unfortunately not be broadcasting that game on YouTube. Instead, we will be broadcasting it on the NFHS network because we'll be in the gym that night broadcasting a basketball game on YouTube. And we don't have the equipment to be broadcasting to YouTube from two different places. Not that we couldn't do it, but we would need double the equipment and double the personnel. But we will still be broadcasting it anyway. It will just be broadcast on the NFHS network instead using our new robo camera known as the Pixelot. And that's going to draw a whistle. Linnea Preston took a tumble there, and it looks like it is going to result in a PK. Penalty kick is awarded to the Mustangs. Kayla O'Brien shooting. And it is saved. So again, while we will be broadcasting the Foundation game using our RoboCamera technology, the Pixelot, on NFHS Network, this will be the last soccer game of the season that we are giving full live manual coverage with a human crew. And so I do want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has been involved in broadcast production this season. Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief is not here tonight. However, he has been an integral part of our broadcast production program and has lent a lot of professionalism to it. He's actually studying at Full Sail play-by-play announcing and broadcast production programs, which he was already pretty good at, but we appreciate everything that he does for Wekiva. He is here generally in an official capacity representing the Apopka Chief and covering the game in writing, but while he's here covering the game for the Chief anyway, he is kind enough to also lend his voice to many of our broadcasts, and we certainly appreciate that. Alejandra shot, not there, but second chance goal scored for the Mustangs by number 26, Linnea Preston. Yep. Strike that. Mustangs retain possession, but the score remains unchanged, 5-0. Still a good move by Preston. I'll have to go back and watch the replay to see what the official signal was for why that did not count, but nevertheless, Mustangs continue to put the offensive pressure on the Trojans. We're going to pause here for a Trojan who is slow to get up. So as I had started to say before we had the goal that wasn't from Linnea Preston, I want to thank Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief for all of his contributions. I also want to thank Keith Dickerson, our broadcast production teacher here at Wekiva High School, who is not here tonight. He's actually at grad school tonight, but who has been a huge part of the success of our live streaming efforts, not just this year, but over the past 3 years as we have built up this program. Last week, you actually heard him and saw him on camera a little bit because I was out, and I thank him for covering me for that. Most of the time, you do not see or hear from him, but either he's running the camera himself or one of his students is, and that's been true at both soccer and basketball games in this winter season, football games, of course, and of course, speaking without full objectivity, I think that Wekiva does as good or better of a job as any school in Florida when it comes to the professionalism of the televised content that we put out there. And so Keith Dickerson and his program with broadcast production is a huge part of that. And we also want to thank all the students who are involved in that program and volunteer to come out in the evening and assist with videography and production work. And as I mentioned earlier, we also want to thank Victoria Ryan. She is the team manager. Actually, it's not her video you're watching tonight. It's actually the Evans video you're watching tonight because we had to patch things together quickly and did not have time to switch which camera was connected between the boys' game and senior night and the girls' game. But nevertheless, want to thank Victoria Ryan, who has been your videographer for several games this season and is also the team videographer for their own analysis after the games, as the Evans goalkeeper gets there first. And Preston's not quite able to get there to make the shot. And so she is a senior this year, and while she was offered the opportunity but elected not to participate in the pageantry of our senior night ceremony, we still want to thank her for making the girls' soccer season, contributing so much to the professionalism of the videography and our live streams, as well as the contribution to the success of the girls' soccer program. Managers are often overlooked in their role and what they do, but it is absolutely critical. And here is an easy pickin' as Mustang goal scored by number 3, Cameron Lynch. And so that does make the score 6-0 with 27 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the second half. And I guess I was wrong again. Did I miss an offsides whistle? That must have been it. And we've got a player who is slow to get up and pounding the ground. And yes, while we wait for that to be addressed, I went back and looked at the replay, and yes, I did miss an offsides whistle off in the corner. Because of the rain and the weather, we've got the press box closed tonight. We don't have, I'm alone in the press box, which is why it's safe to do so. And as a result, we have all the windows closed and kind of sealed off, so I do not hear the whistles as well up here, and that seems to be what happened. We had that one whistled for offsides, and that was why that goal didn't count. So 2 in a row, the Mustangs popping it into the net, but committing an infraction in the process. Trojans kick a worm burner, and Alejandra takes over quickly. Mustangs continue to keep the offensive pressure up. Patricio trying to find some help. Avoids going out of bounds. Ultimately, it ends up back with Patricio. She tries to get it into the center to Castillo. Castillo with a shot, and if that were football, that would have been good for 3. But too high for soccer. Patricio, corner kick. And Mustangs not able to run it down. Overshot Lara there. He'll come out of the goal box for the Trojans. Soft kick to put the ball into play. Goes straight to Medina. Medina throws it into Alejandra, overthrows her a little bit, but Alejandra's right back on top of it. And the pass is a little off target for Alejandra. Still gets the shot off, but it's coming in sideways and saved. "24 shots on goal tonight for Wekiva. Not counting the 2 that looked like goals but weren't. Romanacci getting double teamed there. And we're going to stop the clock here. Looks like we may have a caution. Valentin is cautioned. Of course, cautioning is a synonym for a yellow card, which requires her to leave play. Sent out of the sideline by the Trojans. Patricio will have an opportunity to throw it in from near the corner. Alejandra trying to wrangle this one in to get it to Castillo, but it's deflected out of bounds by the Trojans. Score still 5-0. Patricio can't quite get there before the goalkeeper, and so the score remains 5-0. Mustangs had a couple of good looks that were pulled back because of infractions, second of which was an offsides. Castillo gets tangled up with some Trojans, goes out of bounds off of Evans. Patricio coming in for the throw. Lynch looking there to see if she could find Rivas, but getting intercepted by the goalie. Excuse me, not Rivas, that was Romanacci, but getting intercepted by the goalie instead. And we go the other way. That takes us to the midpoint of the second half, and it is a 5-0 lead for the Mustangs. A correction to the previous call, that was an offsides call that happened just before the goal went in, so the score is correct, standing at 5-0 with 20 minutes 22 seconds remaining in the ballgame. For those of you here with us live at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, we want to remind you, if you are depending on a ride to get home from tonight's game and you have not already done so, please make sure you give them a call and let them know that we are headed into the final 20 minutes of tonight's contest. And our administrators would appreciate it very much if you could give them a call and make sure that you are on your way as promptly as possible after the conclusion of tonight's game so that they can get the stadium shut down and get home to where it is warm and dry. We appreciate your cooperation. Your next opportunity to catch Wekiva girls soccer in action is going to be on the road. They play Friday at University. Then they have one more home game. It's a single header, 6:30 next Tuesday against Foundation. Then they wrap up the season on the road next Thursday at Lake Mineola. And finally, 2 weeks from today at Oviedo. Then the first week of February, they are on to the District 6A4 tournament. You can get the complete schedule on our website, WekivaMustangs.com. Of course, it should be noted that if those last two almost goals that were called back due to infractions had gone in, then the Mustangs would be one goal away from ending the game early. As it stands, though, 5-0, still a commanding lead. And again, if you look at the shots on goal stat, shows a truly commanding performance offensively by the Mustangs. 24 shots on goal so far tonight. Evans have not yet taken an honest shot at the net. We also want to give a shout out to the Wekiva Culinary Program. They have been awarded a magnet program from Orange County, which is very exciting news for them. And they are hosting a virtual open house tomorrow night. Now, originally, we were going to have to split our resources with broadcast production, send part of broadcast production over there and send part of it over to the girls' basketball game. But the girls' basketball game against Montverde has been canceled. So there is no girls' basketball game tomorrow night. Please make sure your calendars are updated with that detail. And then since you're not doing anything with that, maybe check in on the culinary program. If you have a current or future student of Wekiva, you can tune in. They're going to be on Facebook Live tomorrow night, and then they will be on YouTube Live next week. And so We encourage you to find out more about Wekiva Culinary. Of course, Chef Bates, the Teacher of the Year here at Wekiva, running a great program and bringing home a lot of accolades for Wekiva Culinary already. So again, check that out on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And if you missed that, then you'll get another chance next week on YouTube Live. Of course, video on-demand replays will be available as well. But if you tune in live, then you'll have an opportunity to ask questions over the live chat and get them answered in real time. Trojans get a few throw-ins in a row at midfield. Patricio takes this one away. Has a man downfield. Gets Castillo there in time to avoid the offsides call. Has potentially an open shot, and it is blocked by the goalkeeper. Unclear whether that would have gone in from this angle. Looked pretty close. Patricio tries to take one herself. Gets a little too much altitude on that one. Mustangs now up to 26 shots after those last two. Goal kick coming up for Evans. So far, these have not gone very deep, so Wekiva has adapted and positioned their midfield a little farther forward than would be typical. Open look. And into the waiting arms of the goalkeeper before Jamie Rojas can get there. Starting to see some rotation as we enter the concluding minutes of this game from Coach Nash. And Evans is going to ride that one out of bounds. Patricio throw in. Bumped out this time off of the Mustangs. And a collision inside the box. No harm done, though. Collision between the goalkeeper and Linnea Preston. It'll be a goal kick for Evans. No fouls or cards issued over that, and everyone seems okay. Alejandra intercepts the restart and had a good-looking pass to Castillo, but couldn't quite connect there. And here we've seen some of the play that has frustrated Wekiva all season, that they have 75% of a great play put together. And against some of the more challenging opponents in Central Florida, that has been a challenge for them, particularly schools like West Orange, Dr. Phillips, Olympia, Windermere, Eastridge, Eustis, some of those programs that have particularly deadly programs where you have to make every one of those plays if you want to stay in the game. But that being said, we've seen marked improvement from Wekiva over the past year, certainly coming off of last year, which was one of their strongest performances, if not the strongest performance in school history. Last year, the Mustangs actually made a little noise in the district. They finished with a winning record, 12-11-1. This year's record does not look so hot because it's currently 2-9-1. Which on paper makes it look like, well, what happened since last year? Did we lose a lot of talent, or did something go wrong? Is this a rebuilding year? And it really isn't. It's not a rebuilding year so much as it has been a continue building year, because after Coach Nash saw the 12-11-1 record from last season and how much progress the team was making, he adapted the difficulty level of this season accordingly and put some of those programs that I mentioned a moment ago on the schedule on purpose to see how well prepared Wekiva could be by the time February comes around and we get into the district tournament. Shot by the Mustangs, number 45, Jamie Rojas. It is saved. 27th shot of the night for Wekiva. So like I said, the record is not necessarily a reflection, if you look at year over year between 2020 and 2021. The record does not necessarily tell the story of the overall quality of this year's team versus last year's team. Certainly there was some strong senior talent that Wekiva lost to graduation last year, but again, you have to take into account the difficulty level of the schedule, and Coach Nash really going out on a limb this year and gaining a lot of great experience that hopefully will serve Wekiva well when it gets into the single elimination portion of the year. Patricio, easy, or at least making it look easy. But this time, I am not going to be fooled. Goal is whistled for offsides. Alejandra gets her shot blocked by number 18. The Mustangs will take a high kick here, a little off target. "29 minutes gone from the second half. 69 minutes gone overall, and we have 11 minutes left to play. Lynch tries to get a pass off, and it's tapped a little too gently by Preston. She wanted a second shot at that, but couldn't get there before the goalkeeper did. Shot. Not there for Lynch. 30 shots for the Mustangs tonight. Alejandra to Lynch. Wide right. 32 minutes down now. 8 to go. Patricio looking for a pass, and it gets intercepted by the goalkeeper. Bold move there by the Trojans, and it works out for them. She clears it to midfield. And Evans will get a throw in. First time it's been this deep in Mustang territory for a while now. Evans trying to see if they can get at least some scoring on the board before we wrap up tonight. Kayla O'Brien didn't like what she was looking at, so she clears it off the sideline. Live to fight another day. And we're going to get an infraction here against Evans. Mustangs will take over. And we have got some personnel changes. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, Alexandra Torres, Juvia Lara, and Narita Castillo. Well, and one good turnover deserves another. Mustangs give it back here to the Trojans as we pass the 34-minute mark of the second half. And it looked like there was going to be an opportunity there, but it turns into an offsides call. Goal kick coming up for Evans. 5 minutes to go. Shot by Rivas, saved. Mustangs get close again, but it's smothered by the goalkeeper and put back into play. And I don't think Evans saw the Mustangs sneaking up behind them. And it looks like it was dribbled out of bounds there by Preston, so Evans escapes. Near disaster with a little mental error there. That takes us to the end of the contest. Mustangs with a 5-0 win over the Trojans here on Wednesday night. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out to support your Mustang and Trojan athletes. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Wekiva Sports, and bookmark WekivaMustangs.com for all of your scores, schedules, and more. Please drive carefully and arrive home safely for those of you here in the stadium. For those of you listening online, thanks for tuning in to our YouTube live stream. We hope that you'll join us again.